Hi, you're on the Alice Reddit Stories channel. Subscribe to my channel as well as to my Facebook, the link is in the description. Enjoy watching. I, 25F, have always been really close to my cousin, D, 22M. He had a harder time growing up because his parents had some financial difficulties. He never went to bed hungry, but they didn't have much money for luxuries. My uncle met his wife in a strip club where she was dancing. No one in the family knows this, but she left that work when she got married. They have a business, which D works for, that struggled for years but was one of the businesses that became vital during the pandemic, so things really turned around for them and they are making bank. This means that a few months back my cousin could have an amazing wedding and a 2-month-long worldwide honeymoon. I was really happy for and proud of him. I grew up solidly middle class, nothing lavish, but we had some things that some would consider luxuries. My parents, however, were not in a position to pay for college for me, which I was chilled about, and I got loans. I have been working for 2 years and I still live with my parents while I pay off the loans. I unfortunately couldn't get my master's because it wasn't financially viable. Last weekend was my birthday party and my cousin showed up without a gift. His wife made a comment, jokingly, about how they can't afford anything after spending $X on their wedding. None of this bothered me because gifts are not an expectation, but my dad was visibly upset. I asked him about this and he opened a can of worms. It turned out that I used to have a healthy college fund until my mom secretly lent it to my aunt and uncle to help save their business when I was 15. The agreement was that as soon as they were able, they would pay it back to my mom. They haven't returned a dime. They have, in the last 3 years, bought a second house, flown first class overseas twice and paid for D's wedding and honeymoon. Their excuse is that I am done with college and their son works hard so he deserves it more. My father got so annoyed at my aunt while relaying this to me that he decided to kick them out. While trying to calm him down, I said, we both know she only thinks about herself and D. If she had any class, she wouldn't dress like she's still a stripper. I was so preoccupied I didn't realize that my entire family had quietly walked up with the candles lit, ready to sing to me, and they heard everything. My aunt left and has since sent my mom a message that we will never be seeing that money as it is now compensation for her pain and suffering. I didn't mean to out her and be so rude. I was dealing with a lot of emotions and shock over this, I still am. My family doesn't know why we were so angry, so they just think I'm an A, and I don't want to tell them the whole story. But I'm not sure if it's excusable either way. So AITA? Judgment, not the asshole. Update added as an edit. Update and answers. My cousin asked me to meet him alone this morning. It turned out he knew nothing about it at all, his mom has been keeping it quiet. He took this week to consult with a lawyer to figure out how much they owe. He has also recently uncovered 2 things. Firstly, the business has been evading tax, so he is very glad we didn't take legal action. He has started the process to come clean and pay that back. Secondly, she also borrowed money from my grandparents, a decent amount, which she never paid back. They have since passed on, so the lawyer said that amount will form part of the estate and will be owing between the 3 siblings. My cousin offered to sell his house to pay in full immediately if need be, but as an alternative, he and his lawyer have created a payment plan that would pay for my master's immediately. They will take over my loan repayments immediately. Once it is paid, they will continue paying my mom back monthly until the total is settled. We will obviously be going with the plan where he doesn't lose his home. Despite my cousin and his lawyers seeming fair, they have both advised me to find my own lawyer for my mom's interests, and they have offered to pay for that also. Because of the age of the loan and lack of effort to collect on my mom's side, they could legally contest it, or some if it, but my cousin won't be doing that. My cousin apologized to me profusely and said that he wouldn't ask me to keep this secret from the family, but appreciates that I kept it to myself and hopes we can continue that as long as he upholds the agreement we make. My cousin is an amazing human and we will work with him to try to make the impact of his mother's actions on his life be as little as possible while remaining fair. And the best part of all of this was that he planned on giving me my gift after my party when we were alone because he didn't want to steal my thunder. It was a gift card and inside the envelope was a sonogram. I am going to be a godmother soon and I can't wait. The answers. The money was in a savings account that was going to be used for my college costs. It was in my mom's name and so legally hers. She told my dad when I was applying for colleges, he's known for some time. I don't know if it affected their relationship and don't plan on asking. Her and my father have done little to get the money back because she is not coping well with stress due to being sick. My aunt was upset because I outed a 25-year-long lie, more so than people knowing her previous work. I have apologized to her for what I said via text and have left it at that. I have yet to hear back from her. I have also confronted my prejudice against sex workers privately. I won't deny I have judged her because of it, it's not something I am proud of. This blew up at a bad time because my dad had overheard that my aunt is so proud of my cousin for moving out and living on his own at 22. Don't forget to support my channel by subscribing, thank you. He just boiled over on my behalf. My partner has been emotionally abusing me for about 6 years. The entire time, I felt unloved, depressed, ugly, low self-esteem, etc., but he would always say I deserve this or I'm broken. I only realized his behavior was abusive recently. I felt free in the realization and made every effort to leave. However, he begged me to stay and, instead of shouting at me or escalating, he finally listened to me. Over the course of the week, I gradually opened up and explained that how he has been treating me is not okay. I showed him the emotional abuse signs and pointed out the ones that resonated with me, around 10 to 14 points. He broke down and cried. He said that he has suddenly realized that yes, he has been emotionally abusing me and treating me horribly. He feels disgusted in himself, says he didn't realize how bad what he was doing was as he felt justified in a warped, twisted way, and says he doesn't deserve me, etc. Suddenly, he has become a whole different man. He is no longer putting the blame on me for everything, telling me he's the one who now has to work on things, and he's being incredibly sweet, affectionate. He hasn't shouted, thrown things, or lied, to my knowledge, and allows me to cry/vent my feelings in a safe space. It's shocking how different he has become and it's jarring, but it feels awesome. He is even committed to couples therapy, and is agreeing with my every compromise to help regain the trust that was lost. He has also said that he feels like shit and that he doesn't deserve me, and telling me that I do deserve better/should find someone else who would never hurt me. I want to believe this change, all of this is genuine. I know I may be being lied to again, and maybe he isn't actually sad/regretting his actions, but God, I want to believe it. He is like a whole different person, and I didn't realize a relationship was supposed to be like this. I am, however, aware that this could still all be a manipulation, or it could just not last/he'll give up. I have told him I'm willing to forgive the past as long as he truly changes and never hurts me again. He says he can't forgive himself. But, I have also told him I'll now have strict boundaries. If he shouts at me again, I'm out. If he calls me a slur or a name, I'm out. He knows this, and I feel more secure in my boundaries and sense of worth. He also knows I'm going to start solo therapy again for depression, which hurt him a lot as he used to be depressed at the start of our relationship, and I actually helped him work through this. I know everyone is telling me to leave and he won't change, and that even if he does, I shouldn't forgive him. But I do love this man, and I can see that, even though it's been a short period, he is changing. And he recognizes the abuse he put me through for the first time. He has apologized profusely, but let me know his actions are what are going to show me he's genuinely committed to change. I want to stay with him, but I also want to hear other perspectives, probably from people who were in this situation. Did your partner really change once they had that epiphany? I also want to stress that even if I do stay with him, I now have set strict boundaries and won't tolerate what he put me through again. The only issue would be the lies, as obviously if he lies, I wouldn't be able to tell. However, he is being as open as possible and even giving me full access to his phone and saying he wants to work to regain my trust, even if it takes years. Apologies for the long post, I have no one to talk to about what I feel. My boyfriend, 4 months, opened up to me about a horrible time in his life, before we met, where he dealt with depression due to family trouble, running away from home, self-harm, suicidal thoughts, being broke, betrayal, and having no friends or anyone to understand what was going on with him. He told me that during that time he met up with an escort, not for the purpose of sex, but to be able to have someone to smoke, drink, and talk to about his situation without judgment. To be able to go through that, he booked the massage package since it was the cheapest way to go through it, and that when she arrived, he said that he didn't want the massage and that he just wanted someone to listen and be there for him like a friend due to the depression. She obliged, but told him that she couldn't drink or smoke and that he couldn't touch her as a rule, but she can. He said he didn't want to do so and didn't push her to smoke and drink, and told her that she can just hug him while they talk. He told me that they talked about her experiences in the industry and how she told him that she willingly chose this path so she can have easy money to go to and finish her education along with an experience with an abusive customer, and that she couldn't call the authorities. He felt bad and gave her whatever money he had at the moment to help her out. She told him that if he wants a massage, she knows a good and cheap place where he can get one to get rid of back pains he would get. He assured me that he didn't make her do anything against her will, and there was respect. Weeks after that, he was back at home and the situation with his family got worse. His suicidal thoughts returned and was contemplating on jumping from an overpass, but thought of the burden he would give for the people under it. The place he was in was sketchy, and he was waiting instead for the chance to get robbed or murdered until he saw the massage parlor the escort told him about. He went to the place unaware of what he would experience and booked a regular massage in order to relieve his stress. He said that the massage was good and helped with his back along with the thoughts he had, and during the moment, the massage lady unexpectedly grabbed his privates, started massaging it and asked if it was good. He nervously said that it did and asked why was she doing this. She told him that it was part of the service, he should just pay extra, and that while they were talking, she said had a family and what he was doing was charity for her. He said he felt ashamed that he did that, but thought of the conversation they had. He went back to the parlor some time after that experience when his back pain returned, and that he only really wanted a normal massage and because the place was affordable and really helped his pain, but during this return, his privates were grabbed again, and this time, there was no communication or warning, and when he saw that the massage lady was getting undressed, he quickly got out of there because he didn't want any of those anymore. I thought that maybe it was assault or harassment for him because he said that all he wanted those times was a normal massage and didn't know that he would experience all that. He added that on the first instance, he wouldn't hold the lady liable if that was assault because he was on a destructive phase and didn't care about what would happen to him then. On the second instance, he said that I can say that it was harassment because he wanted nothing else and they did not even bother to check up on him when they did all those, and that he left because he didn't want anything more. During this, I asked him why he didn't seek therapy then, and he said that he didn't have the best idea of therapy back then, that it was difficult to get where we're from. He is a good man and wants nothing more than to see me happy. He would deal with my mental health in the most loving way, and I feel like a hypocrite for not being understanding enough about his situation then, while I had my own share of destructive phases with psychedelics, self-harm, and sexual acts, where I truly didn't want it, and he showed nothing but love and understanding to me, despite how painful it was for him to hear it. I want to get over my own judgments and to live my life together giving him the same love he shows me because he matters to me, but I have trouble coming to terms with what has happened to him. He said that all those that he experienced made him feel hard to love and that he wanted to be honest and have a clean slate on both ends, but I was judgmental and I feel horrible. TLDR, I'm 24F, struggling to understand my boyfriend's 24M past experiences, and I feel like a hypocrite because he took mine with love and understanding while I was judgmental towards his. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel. There are many interesting articles ahead.